Howdy, everyone. He's back. And he's ill. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope everyone's doing well. I have returned. A lot to talk about. Totally Spy, member for 17 months. Thank you very much. Straight in there. How's everyone doing? How's it going? I didn't miss anything important, I don't think. When I left, I don't think anything important happened in the 40k world. Return of certainly a king, I suppose. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right. Stream. I look at chat and I say hello. How's it going? Guess who's back? Back again. It's Paul. He's back. How was Japan? Japan was great. I'm sure I'll chat more about that as we get into it. Japan was fantastic. Had a lot of time. I had a lot of time. I did have a lot of time. A lot of good time. Good time was had. And yes, Beef Hammer on name. Beef Hammer. Thank you for the.
Really want to play you this weekend, Paul. I need to be beaten by Centurion Daddy.
Hell yeah. Well, good luck. What's your first? I assume you're talking about. Assuming you're at the South Coast Super Major. If you're at a different tournament this weekend, then you won't play against me. Who's your first opponent? Not in my first opponent. It's Drukhari. Why aren't you painting them thick boys? I've been painting them all day, and I need a break. And that break is called this stream. Your first name is Beef. Oh, great name. First name Beef, surname Hammer. I mean, you were born for this, really. I wonder if I can actually find out who you're playing then, if your first name is Beef. Rush Centurion is a happy Centurion. A Rush Centurion is a necessary Centurion, which is the problem. I've done 6 of them. I have 6 more to do tomorrow. But it should be a little simpler. Which is a little nicer, at least. Yeah, see. You truly are just Beef. Oh yeah, there you are. You're against Necrons. Interesting. Look at your list. Ooh. Hammer of Averni. Very nice. No Centurions. Terrible list. Although, big squad of Terminators. We appreciate that. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Very curious to hear if there'll be any opinions on just announced terrain rule changes. I imagine we will chat about all the 11th edition stuff. I tried speaking to that deer in Japan. Didn't seem to have any useful information, so I guess not.
11th edition, mixing detachments. How thrilled are you to mix stealth and centurions properly?
Thank you for the $5. It'll be interesting. I'm really interested to see how that works. That would be cool.
What's centurion in Japanese? Hayakun in Techo.
I believe Centurion in Japanese, based on what I read, is actually... It's like... Senuturion. Or Senuturionu, or something like that. It's literally... It's because it's katakana. It's just anglicized. Would you ever consider playing Chaos and have Mutilators, Obliterators? Possibly. If they make Obliterate... Because Mutilators go in squads of 3. If they make Obliterators squads of 3 as well. Now we're doing it. 7 kilometers into 10 kilometer run. You are crazy. My name is Paul too. Can I get some Centurions now? Maybe. Not free. So yeah, I imagine we'll wait until 7 o'clock because that's when I actually start stream. But yeah, we'll talk about Ban. We'll talk about all of the new 11th edition stuff that's been announced. We'll talk about tournament this weekend. All sorts of fun. Hey Reese. Ready for this weekend? I'm not. I still have 6 Centurions to paint. And my Ancient, actually, which I started. Did you find your wife? I did find my wife. Centurion desperate, basically. These Centurions are safe? I mean, they probably are safe. We had a great weekend. Tokyo was beautiful when I last went. Yeah, Tokyo was... All of Japan was great. All of Japan was great. How would they play I can tomorrow? I should be fine. I mean, this is my job. Have you thought about trying to break the 20s in Centurions? I don't know what that means. I guess first question as people are arriving in. Darren Wenzel, thank you for becoming a member. Who is going to South Coast Super Major this weekend? Because I've seen a lot of people say, you know, hopefully see me there. And I hope to see you there as well. Would you recommend Japan considering going like 6 years? Yes, Japan is great. Don't know what it would be like in 6 years. But going for the UK, the best part about it is... damn, you got Nightblood. Hell yeah. Sorry about that. The best part about the... going from the UK is that, unfortunately for Japan, obviously, the yen is incredibly weak, which basically means that it's so goddamn cheap. Meals out there were so cheap, comparatively. It was silly. I miss you in the same car? Yeah. Yeah, because Brett reached out. I was like, how are you getting there? I was like, I probably need a lift, don't I? Because my car still doesn't work. How much stuff do you bring back from Japan? Far too much. Far too much stuff. We had to buy... Well, we were always planning to buy extra suitcases while we were out there. Like, go out with one, then buy a suitcase to bring all our stuff back. And... yeah, we filled 2 suitcases up, but we also put one of the smaller suitcases in a bigger suitcase, so that we didn't like fill 4 suitcases up. You know what I mean? Watch that entire first video, Paul. The entire damn thing. You are a baller. Howdy, Britters. How's it going? You got my friend in the Tokyo Warhammer store? Hell yeah. Was that... I was going to say which one, but it's the Tokyo one, not the other one. Which I guess it's still Tokyo, but not the Tokyo one, because that was the one in Yokosuka. I need to remember... I need to make sure I'm saying that right. Yokosuka? Yes, Yokosuka. You bought Centurions? Good, Millval. You were meant to do that, and I'm glad you did. Because if you hadn't bought Centurions, Jesus Christ!
How am I supposed to clang you if you're not painting?
I saw that come up, and I was like, oh, it's the yellow one. And I forgot what the yellow means, so you still got me. Yes, I saw... I can't remember the guy's name who works at the Tokyo Warhammer Cafe one. But that was a very funny interaction because I was with my wife, and he was like, "Oh, do you play Warhammer?" I was like, yeah, I play Warhammer. He's like, "Oh, what do you play?" I was like, I play Raven Guard with lots of Centurions. He's like, "Oh, there's a guy on YouTube who does that." And I go, "Yeah, it's me." And he goes like, "Whoa!" It was very funny. But I also met Legion W, who's on YouTube. He did the video where he plays 3 Fall Order Skulls in Japan. Met him. Very, very nice guy. He took me somewhere that I can't remember the name of, and I forgot to tell all my friends where I was. So when my wife phoned, she's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I don't know." But we've get on a couple of trains, so we're not in Akihabara anymore. He only saw one of my kidneys, which is really nice of him. I also met Nix, who runs the Yokosuka Warhammer shop there. They were very, very nice as well. Really cool community they got down there, which is very cool. Did you play any Gunpla while I was there? Yes, I bought 2 Gunplas. I bought the super special new version of the one I already have, Epion. It's like a shiny Epion, basically. And I also bought the black and green unicorn. That'd be fun to do. That was a really bad time to think the stream was a bit quiet. Yes, you've got absolutely... What's right on the rule about if a unit has not shot, then it can only be shot within 15 inches? I think that's... It's one of those rules where I think it sounds okay, but we need to see the full rules. It sounds interesting. It sounds like the way they said it, it sounds like there's ways to circumvent it. So people are potentially thinking like marker lights might get around it, which is kind of cool. How good would Centurions fit into a Salamander army? Fantastically, especially Assault Centurions. Flamers and Melters. Perfect. Oh, wait, you see you at the weekend. Hopefully play bad and we can match up. I mean, my first opponent is Paulie Wallace. I think he's known on like Instagram and stuff as Sky Serpent. He's been on Warhammer Community a few times for his Drukhari army. And I see his name come up a lot. So he seems to be a very good Drukhari player. And I'm playing 36 Centurions. So, we'll see. Are you hoping to go up against the South Coast? Anyone, really, because I think my list doesn't have any good matchups. Are you going to get the 11th edition launch box set? Yes. Yes, I will. because it's my job. Any thoughts on new 11th edition leaks? Well, there's not so many leaks now. It's mostly just like stuff. I will say it's very, very annoying that by getting rid of objective markers, they are getting rid of the most popular item in my merch store at paulusballerstuff.shop. Which is very unfortunate. However, I do need to actually send over to the Orchid 8 guys, because they're going to be rebranded. They're not going to be objective markers anymore, because obviously that doesn't work for 11th. So they're going to Legends, and instead they are basically just anything you want them to be. Spooky masks, placemats, bad frisbees, you know, that kind of thing. And maybe I will try and put my face onto like just terrain and make it look horrible. We'll see. Coasters, that's another one. Sell the footprints, true. Just so my ward is essentially go BS5 for 11th. I don't think it will. The thing is, a lot of people are going, oh, how, you know. I saw a comment which is like, oh, now like melee armies aren't going to use their pistols so they can not be shot within 15 inches. I'm like, well, you won't. Are you really poking your head out to shoot your pistols anyway? Not really. So it doesn't change anything. I use mine as a mouse pad. Good idea. I need to make a mouse pad, like, you know those horrible anime mouse pads? I need to make one of them. But it's me holding 2 centurions. But rather than it being like, you know how like those mouse pads of, you know, ill repute are kind of squishy in that area, they're going to be like soft, but they're going to also be massively angular because they are centurions. New Rexall Fangers? I mean, that's a good idea. When are we getting paused about stuff magnets? So my wife had this idea. And when she said, oh, you should do magnets, I was like, how am I going to customize tiny magnets that you stick onto, like, models? Until I realized she meant, like, a fridge magnet, which makes a lot more sense. So it's on the list. We have 5 Chaos players running 4 great achievements for Roticus. That's not terrible, to be fair. It's beatable. It's very skewed. Have you seen the people called Gary in the South Coast roster? People called Gary. I'm sure there's plenty of people called Gary. Gary's a fairly common name. Is there like a Gary, like Fallout 3 Vault of Gary situation going on? The shooting pistols, most of them are 12 inches. Exactly right. Most of them are too short anyway. Some of them are 18, but again, you're like, why are you doing that? I spelled Gary wrong. I am actually Gary, officially not Gary. Are there any other Garys spelled incorrectly? There's 2 Garys. One is called I'm actually Gary, and one is called officially not Gary. That's very funny. Will precision be buffed in 11th? No idea. No idea how precision will work, but it hasn't come out. I do like the fact that they're changing plunging fire to be 3 inches. Because 6 inches, I'm very reasonably informed, is too much. That's you and your buddy. Nice. Hell yeah. Because the problem with 6-inch plunging fire is no one's ever going up there, and it very rarely comes up. 3 inches, it makes a lot more sense, because then you actually have the chance to do it. And also, based on how they said it, powering units getting plunging fire just off the ground means if you go up a floor, you no longer have that, which is also very cool. What would you say the easiest way to learn to play would be? The easiest way to learn to play is find someone who knows how to play and get them to teach you. And basically, like, walk you through a game. Not just like, I'm going to teach you how to play, here are the rules, let's play. But actually, like, talk you through the game. I'm not very good at that. I tried to copy your 36 Centurion list in TTS, and without Oath of Moment and their special rules, it fragged quite a bit in my eye. I think I have a way of winning with it. I think the way of winning with 36 Centurions is... I spoke to Toby Bennett about this. I was like, oh, my first opponent is Drukhari. I'm a bit stuffed. He goes, actually, you might be all right. Just stand on 2 of the No Man's Land objective markers and just out OC and stat check them. And I'm like, actually, that makes a lot of sense. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Just literally walk forward. Overall opinions on 11th. I think 11th looks very good. I also really enjoyed 10th. The stuff they've released for... And again, the thing you got to remember is the stuff they're releasing is obviously this kind of like their hype stuff. So there may be, as you get into like the nitty gritty, there's going to be some weirdness. But I like the idea of having different primaries. I like the idea that those different primaries give you the different terrain layout. That's really fun. I like the customization with the detachments. That's cool. I like that the terrain they've kind of cleaned up. They just have like, this is terrain footprint, not ruin footprint. I like a lot of it. Will I do fixed missions for your A3600 list? No. 2 reasons. 1, I'm not a coward. 2, I don't really know what I'd pick. Like, I've never looked at fixed. I've never actually looked into fixed and like what it does. Like, what can you pick as fixed? I mean, let's have a look now, very quickly. While I'm sure a bunch of questions are coming in. This is going to be absolute scatterbrain of the thing. Behind enemy lines, no. Bring it down if they have a lot of vehicles. Like, if I'm going against like tons of vehicles, I'll probably take bring it down. Storm hostile objective, no, I'm too slow. Engage all fronts, no. Establish locus, no, I don't want to do actions. Cleanse, no, I don't want to do actions. Assassination, unless they have a lot of characters. Can't do no prisoners. Cull the Horde. Like, none of them are good. Right? I'm basically taking assassination and bring it down every time, which doesn't seem... It's okay. The best change was discussed, you don't need to discard missions. Yes, that was excellent. That was, oh, perfect. That is such a good rule. Because it's so annoying losing out on like 10 points turn 1. Like, it's such a massive swing. And you can just hold them now, which is really cool. Mutilators look awesome. I do like the new mutilators. You lose against Gary, you oh, Gary, that's me and my mate. If you lose against Gary, you become him. Okay, that's fun. Like a Gary zombie situation. I've not played against Tau yet. That is the one army I've not played against. And I'm likely to play against them at this weekend because I think there's a lot of Tau now. Do you think about the next Loyal Primate to return? No idea. You like Trench Crusade or is it too guard expired for you? No, I like Trench Crusade. Oh, I say I like Trench Crusade. I like the idea of the game of Trench Crusade. I'm not a big fan of the lore side, like the actual kind of background to it. But the rules I've seen look pretty fun. I think a lot of the discussion around 11th is kind of somewhat... Because obviously people are going, oh, well, based on what they've said about 11th, this is how my army will play. But we don't know enough, right, to make that fully realized. Like, people go, oh, my BS is going to be really bad. But we don't know everything. But based on what they've said, it looks really... 10k for complete this godforsaken backpack will be worn no longer. Why did you take a backpack with you running? That's just going to slow you down. Are you stupid? I say not having done any rank. Although in Japan, I think cause I don't wear a step calculator, also known as a sport watch or Fitbit or anything. Haven't for years, but basically everyone else does. I think we averaged like 20,000 steps a day. There was not a day that we didn't have to get up early to go somewhere. We did a lot of traveling. We basically, for those who know Japan or have been to Japan, we basically kind of did everything. We started off in Tokyo. Went Tokyo. We did a bit of stuff in Nagano. We went up to Snow Monkeys. Then back to Tokyo. Then Aomori, Sapporo, Hiroshima, Osaka, Kyoto, back to Tokyo. We basically did the whole thing. Hey, Avi. Hey, Ivy. How's it going? A lot of Tau going around with the Rec Cardry, maybe Montcar. But this is the thing, is like people are going, oh, in 11th you'll see a lot of Tau doing this, but we don't know that because there's a lot of rules we haven't seen yet, and it's not all tied together. Like, for example, right, you're saying this based on what we have, but let's say that all the Tau stuff gives you a primary mission, and everyone goes, oh, well, this primary mission actually just makes it so much easier to fight you, right? Every Tau game I play against, they always are in 3 Riptides. Yeah, the old Triptide. Very classic, from what I hear. 40k's activation system has dragged it down to the bottom of the wargame rules first. I don't think so. I think the problem is if you change 40k's activation system to the same as everything else, then it just becomes the same as everything else, right? There's enough room in the world for multiple. But again, I don't know. I've not really like thought about it. Like, one-page rules is fun, but it's a very different game. And being able to like have a go turn doesn't really happen in that. But setting up and having a go turn in 40k is really cool. What do I think about New Jafada? I think it looks amazing. I couldn't get one obviously because I was in Japan and they sold out instantly. But they look cool as hell. How was Japan? You off to go next year? Awesome. Really, really good. Immediately I was like, I want to go back. I want to go back for a couple of weeks and just do Tokyo. And I think on the JR lines, there's a kind of ring one, which is, I believe, light green. And what I want to do is just roll a dice and go, we're going to go there. On like one of the numbers on the JR line, or that light green JR line, and go, we're going to go to that one. And then go there. What do I think of the AOS Cogfort? The Cogfort looks awesome. I love the Cogfort. It'd make such a cool model. It's so kit bashable as well. Am I afraid of flying? No, I'm not. Well, in a plane, I'm fine. If I suddenly just started like flying through the sky, that would scare the shit out of me. But no. What I don't like about flying is the past 2 times I've done big long flights. One was 3. Tangential. Slightly related. The last time I went on a big holiday like this for 3 weeks was at the release of 10th edition, so I time these very well every 3 years. My big holiday cycle is the same as 40k release cycles, which is very fun. When I came back from Florida 3 years ago, I got very ill on the flight and was sick. It was horrible. It wasn't so bad this time, but I was still ill on the flight, and we got back Monday evening. On Tuesday, I slept for 15 hours. And since then, I have basically been sleeping on and off for an hour, having they're not like nightmares, but they are the weirdest fever dreams I've ever had, and I cannot remember any of them. But literally every hour without fail, I'll go to sleep, have a fever dream, wake up and go, that was fucking bizarre. Work out where I am, fall back asleep, have another fever dream. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning and did not go back to sleep, so I was like, I'm not doing that again. So I just got up and played like Fallout 4 or something. I think if anyone just started flying, they were scared. Exactly right. Had the flu since Wednesday last week. Damn, that sucks. I'm getting better now, which is good, because I don't want to go to South Coast and just start making everyone sick. So if you do see me at South Coast, don't get too close. I haven't picked an army, just thought I'd update with the latest. You still haven't picked an army? I thought you did. I thought you changed your mind from... What was it? You changed from Space Wolves to... One of the Chaos ones, I think. Maybe I don't even remember. Best and worst moment in Japan? Best and worst. Can't think of a... What was a bad moment in Japan? Character to the forefront, so I could use it as Primarch such. That'd be interesting. I find it difficult to find the best moment in Japan. One of the best things about Japan was the food. My god, the food is insane. Like, even just going to a konbini and just being like, this is incredible. The best food I had in Japan, I think, as an experience, was we stayed in like a traditional ryokan for one night to go to see the snow monkeys. And we got there, and we were like, this is too goddamn fancy for us. Like, all of us were like, this is too much. We had a private room with, like, the traditional, like, ryokan dinner where they, like, serve it, like, lots and lots of different courses. And it was, like, insane. Like, they had it set up where, like, there was a box. We didn't know what was in, but that was, like, the 5th course. And then there was this little pot with a heater under it, which wasn't turned on to, like, the 8th course. And it was the most delicious food. And I was like, this is insane. This is actually insane. I will say, one of the bad things about Japan, for someone who doesn't drink alcohol or caffeine, it's very difficult in a lot of restaurants to find a drink you can have. Because a lot of the good thing with the restaurants is they're very kind of, a lot of restaurants are small, so they have a very small menu, which is good. But then they sell, their drinks are beer, Coca-Cola, maybe some tea, and annoyingly, grapefruit juice. Again, I can't drink grapefruit, which is even worse. Ivy with the year, thank you very much.
It's been a frickin' year. Impossible, frankly. How dare you? When can I expect ROI? But no, really, I can't pick armies. Help me.
You can expect your return on investment in 3 to 5 business years. But thank you for the 12 months. Yeah, so grapefruit juice, can't drink. Melon soda is sometimes on there, which is okay. Very rarely do you see something like Sprite or 7-Up, which is what I drink a lot. So I had to kind of survive with the melon soda or water. It took me a week and a half to realize I should probably just search like Sprite alternative in Japan, and I found it. It's Mitsuya cider since 1884. Really, really tasty. Loved Mitsuya cider since 1884. So that's what I kind of got from the convenience instead, because they don't sell like Sprite or 7-Up at convenience. I saw like one Fanta can. They have a lot of Coke, and then they have a lot of teas and coffees and stuff. Do they have Dr. Pepper? I didn't see much Dr. Pepper, if any, to be fair. Why not finish your Sench? Because I've been painting them all day and I'm tired. And I want to stream. Tommy, thank you for subscribing. Over with Prime. And also, I need to actually make money because my channel has been sitting there doing nothing, and the 2 videos I put out did not do well. Mostly because one of them was a 12-second video where I asked a deer about the 11th edition reveals, and the other was me looking at the Kyoto pavement for 16 minutes. What was I expecting? There you go. Hey, Cassie, how's it going? But to be fair, the nice thing about going to a restaurant in Japan is they give you water instantly. Like, straight, like, you sit down, water, done. Also, no tipping. Really easy to sort out. Ordering most of the time was great. There was a lot more English than I thought. You didn't have to pay by cash in like outside of Tokyo, outside of big cities, like especially in like Kyoto for some of the things, you did need cash. But a lot of stuff was still contactless card, which is great. Thanks for tuning in. Love your tournament. Thank you very much. Little Legends, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you very much. Have you and the woman enjoyed the trip? We both enjoyed the trip massively. Did the deer ever get back to you about their opinions? No, and I went to Nara as well, where there were a lot more deer. No opinions. How did you feel not to have to stream the technical... It was very funny about the technical nightmares of the Adepticon show, because I was on a boat going to Miyajima at the time. So I was trying to watch it on that trip, because there was nothing else to do. So I was watching it, and it was so bad that I couldn't hear, and then obviously it kept cutting out. It was very funny.
Little appreciation for your videos. They are really entertaining and encouraged me to start playing instead of just painting. Had a lot of fun with my Death Guard and just bought the new Defiler.
Hell yeah, thank you for the 10 years. Amateur Acer Gaming, thank you very much. Awesome that you could get into playing it. Death Guard is very cool. Couldn't handle the crowds of tourists. My god, I mean, October was bad. Remember when this was Sakura season? There were so many goddamn tourists in Kyoto. Fortunately, we stayed we stayed right near the Inari shrines. Like, our Airbnb was like right there, so we could go up the Inari shrines early enough that we got up nice and early, walked up the Inari shrines. It was quite busy, but not too bad, especially higher up. Not to poke fun at Americans, but you could tell At which point the Americans gave up because the American accents were not there for like the last part of that climb. But as we came back down, it was horrific. So many tourists and lots of kind of the tours, which was really bad. I would say if you go to Kyoto, be prepared to do things early, or just you're gonna get swamped. Yeah, that was the other thing with the going back to the fact that the stream kept dying, is it was only showing guard stuff over and over. I'm like, please, I want something that's good. Which army do you think is going to break the game first? Likelihood is going to be... I mean, the likelihood is going to be Space Marines, right? Because it has the most options. But you might find... I think a lot of the time, Eldari usually breaks stuff. Because they have the speed. So it could be something with speed that causes problems. I don't know. Are you going to play Gundam Assemble? Yes! I will whenever it comes out. That's the only good feature is back. Damn. Astra and Christian getting absolutely... absolute shade for that one. Did you try an eel? Unagi, yes. We went to in Kyoto, actually, in Ari. There was a place around the corner. It was like one of the few places that was open because Kyoto just shuts at 8 o'clock. Like, nothing opens. And we went to this unagi place, which was so good. Like, even just like small, like, fast foody places like that, where it's like 2 people behind the thing. It's just, ready for October. That makes sense. Thing is, I saw a Gundam Assemble thing in the Gundam base annex. I was like, oh, I should get it because it's out here. But no, that's the card game, which is named the same, I think. It's very annoying. 40k events planned for 11th. Yes, I'm doing South Coast this weekend, and I'm also going to be at the UK Game Expo one, the Warhammer, the actual Games Workshop one, which I need to double check with that because I may have to make a different Shrike because my Shrike is 3D printed. Let's try Conga Eel. Conga. Anago. Maybe. I don't remember. Tell you what, we did try what we weren't expecting. Fugu, which if you don't know is a pufferfish. And if you watch The Simpsons, you'll know all about pufferfish and how it can kill you. We were not seeking out pufferfish because we didn't want to die. But that Ryokan meal had Fugu as one of the options. It was actually really good. What are the chances there are 2 people in a relationship in this stream? As in, like, 2 viewers in a relationship? Or, like, just 2 people who are in relationships? Well, I can tell you for the fact that I think a lot of people here are in relationships. Did the Fugu kill you? Yes, I am actually dead. The Gundam card game comes with means that are also going to be in the... Okay, that's confusing. What did it taste like? I can't remember. But I remember it tastes good. Yeah! I give it the $10.
Hey Paul, welcome back. Just wanted to throw some change your way.
Thank you very much.
Been getting back into painting my Night Lords. Would you do the honors of naming a Master of Descent?
Thank you again for the £10.
I look forward to potentially fighting you on the fields of Heaven. Yeah. Probably won't, as you have a better track record than I. I went 0-5 in my last 5-game tournament.
Listen, it could happen, because if you went 0-5 and I don't do very well, we could be in the round 2. You ever think about that? Yeah, you see. My problem with... Going back to the Fugu thing quickly, my problem with taste is I don't remember it. You want a Master of Descent. Night Lord's Master of Descent. Oh, you could use one. I had a character name for a let's say disgraced captain for the Screaming Ravens who didn't do very well in the in my campaign. I think he was called Larian Shriek Talon. Shriek Talon sounds cool. Or something Shriek Talon. Is it true you have not played Tau yet? I've not played Tau. That's the one army I've yet to play. I say I might play him at South Coast. So how many Tau players are there? There's 15 Tau players at South Coast. However, they might all win their first game, so I might not ever play them. I'm playing Drukhari. Drukhari is like a goddamn bust because a sucky bust, if you will. Because I didn't play any Drukhari, and now I've played like 3 in a row. three events, 3 bloody 3 bloody Drukhari players. Over here in Bristol sometime. Absolutely, like Bristol's not too bad for me. Again, it's just kind of timing thing. I only really have one planned event before 11th, and then when 11th comes out, I'm probably going to try and get a lot in. Because it's my job. And I do... It was not Larian. Larry Sheik Talon is also funny, to be fair. It was like Larian... like that, Larian Shriek Talon. Larry Shriek Talon is also funny. Have I played against Imperial Agents? I haven't, but that doesn't really count, so, you know. Am I doing the Winchester May GT? What weekend is that? Get out of the chat, this is our space. No! The Major Swigger, hell yeah. Look at the ball now. I'm to help you on the Saturday, maybe on the Sunday. I'm going to wear my cool new jacket I got from Super Mario or the Super Nintendo World. So look for the bald bearded guy with a Bowser jacket. Unless it's really warm, which I won't. 16th, 17th May. If I'm around, yes. If not, no. We're off to LGC this year. Yeah, I'll definitely do LGC this year. Least favorite matchup? Necrons. Not like I think my army does okay into Necrons, but my problem with them is it's all the feel no pains. It's just too much. Have a winning son? I think so. I mean, this is helping.
Have you considered gluing a bunch of centurions together and making a centurion centipede?
I haven't considered that. Thank you for the super chat. I haven't considered it, and having thought about it, it sounds horrific, but also very funny. I'd love if you and Christian Mogami had to fight each other in the tournament. It would only ever be the first round because he's actually good at the game. We've discussed actually trying to do like a doubles thing, but it's just finding the time, and also him being in the north and me being in the south means that we have to find a place that's convenient for both, which is not that easy. What do you consider warm in freedom units? I have no idea. Let me convert. Anything above 20 for me is warm because I hate the heat. I say 20. If it gets to like 23, I'm suffering. In F. Like 73, 75, I guess. I'm planning on taking 120 blood claws if points allow me. Hell yes, Pridders. I want to fight you. I want to fight the 120 blood claws. Have you considered gluing a bunch of centipedes together and making a centipede centurion? Now you're asking the real questions here. Yeah, I think for the South Coast is going to be interesting because I have to remember I don't have the Shadowmark Talon buff. I'm going with Gladius. And that's an important distinction because I am going to be hit on 3s, not 4s. Now that I have 50 subs I can stream, are we taking on a new persona? Penny is mid at things, who only paints crisis suits. I like the cut your jib, Penny. Is that a Knight Destroyer? I've not, but I have considered adding a Knight Lancer. My god, the Knight Lancer in the Warhammer Cafe in Tokyo is incredible. Absolutely incredible. What TV channel do you watch for the news? I don't watch the news on TV. I just don't watch TV at all, apart from like Taskmaster, which starts tonight, which is good. Do you have any advice for people new to tournaments? Go there with low expectation and just have a good time. Don't think... as long as you kind of know most... like, even if you don't know your stats, like, off the top of your head, As long as you look them up quick, it's not too bad. Just play fast. Don't think too hard, and you'll learn a lot more. And just have fun.
With 11th making Battle Line Marines dime a dozen instead of Inferno's Marines, I can finally make my Mephiston babysits 120 intercessors list.
That is a baller list. Look, if I go to GT, I'm going with weighted dice on ones. Now you're really cooking with gas. On Whose Line It's Anyway? I watched Whose Line It Anyway when I was younger. It's really funny. Good improv comedy. I think the honey evolution of that is the stuff they do on Dropout. Like, make some noise and, what's the other one? Game Changer. The Green Tyrannus this weekend is probably you. Awesome. I mean, again, for those going to the South Coast, obviously come up and say hi. If I'm in the middle of a game, obviously I can't chat too much, but between games, come up, say hi, don't be scared. I'm not that intimidating. I mean, if you take one look at me, if you've seen me, I'm not an intimidating looking person. I'm just a gangly, weirdly shaped, long lad. I'm not super tall, but I'm also got very long, thin limbs. So I'm kind of weird looking, but I'm not intimidating. In the slightest. Did anyone in Japan rub your head for good luck? No, they did not. Thoughts on Project Hail Mary? Not seen it. But make them laugh, my job is done. That is exactly... Where'd you go? Where exactly is the South Coast of Magic? It's in Havant. Which is just outside of Portsmouth, I guess? It's on the South Coast, surprisingly. It's not as far as Portsmouth, is it? Haven't. Oh no, it is just the other side of Portsmouth, yeah. A little bit further than Portsmouth. Just south of Waterloo. About, like I say, just over halfway between Southampton and Chichester. That area. I'd pay Friendly Mulligan to narratively interpret and narrate a Paul's Hispanic of game. Paul is 7 foot and shredded. I wish I was 7 foot and shredded. I've heard about Project Hail Mary. I've heard it's good, but I know literally nothing about it, so no spoilers.
I'm thinking of playing a DG army of 60 Pox Walkers, 60 Plague Marines, and as many Plague Burst Crawlers as possible. Thoughts?
Yes. As many Plague Burst Crawlers as possible is 3, unfortunately. That sounds awesome. 8 foot and shredded. That's the thing. I'm trying to be. Yeah, I'm only 7 foot and shredded. I'm actually 8 foot and shredded. I'm basically a gorilla. I'm a trained gorilla. Does the battlefield part secretly refer to the evil kind of bad? Yes. It's not very secret, really. But as we've discussed on the stream previously, I am a kind of psychopathic sociopath. I do not care about Warhammer. I am doing this only for the money. And I used AI and algorithms to find the perfect niche that I could exploit to gain money in the YouTube space. So give me money. That's all I'm here for. A chance to get you and Bricky, poor guys, talk about 11th edition rules when they launch. I'm sure we can chat that at some point. I imagine that the Poor Hammer guys will probably do it with Bricky on his own. But I'd be happy to get people to chat about it. My plan for this week was actually going to be to stream my painting and have people come on and just chat about stuff. Because I wanted to talk to Legion W more. I want to talk to Astra as well. I've had him on the channel. But the fact that I was really ill meant that I didn't want to exactly have a whole stream of me just going the whole time, which would have been horrific. Yeah, I definitely want to do more content with those guys. I've had a lot of fun doing Astras. If you haven't seen it, Astra Veil who does he's kind of become the I guess the nexus for which other YouTubers pass through. He did a Warhammer Jeopardy game between myself, Shagrot, Christian, and Bricky. It was a lot of fun. I actually got trounced. It was really funny. Yeah, it's Pikachu. I don't know how... I felt kind of bad for it because I don't know how annoyed people were about it, but it was definitely one of those ones where it dipped. I feel like it was... It's one of those jokes you have to continue, right? Because if you don't commit to it,
have you considered centurioning a bunch of glue together and centipeding a glue building?
Good question, Ivy. Yes. I have considered that one. That was the one thing I did consider. All the other ones I hadn't really considered, but that specific one I had considered and decided against it. I'm going to stream tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. I have too much to do. Yeah, the It's Pikachu joke has to be... It's one of those jokes that you have to continue. Because it starts off funny, and then it's not funny in the middle, but the more you do it, the funnier it gets. And I don't know if I managed to get to the other side of that curve by the end of the video. The comments seem to think so. Also, I didn't realize how bad my microphone was. I must have fucked my microphone up. Because I think later on, after that thing, I streamed. Oh yeah, then I streamed with Crack Duck, Mishmash, and Muabel. And at the start, people were like, oh, your microphone's bad. And I think the same settings I used for that recording, so it sounds really bad. And I feel bad about that. Hot takes, but instead of people's 2000 point list. A lot of people have asked about that. I might do that. I might do... I think now's not the right time. I might do it for 11th edition. You enjoy the It's Pikachu thing? Good. It was for you. It was for the audience, not for my fellow contestants. For them, it was psychological warfare. Which didn't work because I lost. I was surprised Ricky hasn't thought about doing Create a Clash event for the 40k content creators. It's just... 40k does... Like, the kind of Create a Clash stuff, like you see on Twitch and whatever, doesn't lend itself to a game of 40k. Because TTS... 40k... I find it weird that 40k has kind of, like, streams like this. Because 40k is not an... Like, if you're watching someone like Liam Dempsey, right? Like Liam Dempsey's channel, or Battle Barn, those kind of streams where it's fun banter, that's fun to watch live. But watching like the UKTC, again, it's not because it's a bad stream. Like it's a very competent, very interesting stream. But I don't find it entertaining. It's hard to stay invested, if you see what I mean.
To Paul and the chat, you're facing someone with your usual 1k list. Mm-hmm. Would you hate facing an all-armor guard list? Or do you think tanks are okay?
We'll wait for the second one, then I'll answer these in turn.
Have centurions considered pulling all of the centipedes and building glue?
I don't know why you're asking me that, McFatson, because you should be asking the centurions if they considered that. See? Thank you for the super chat. Thing is, an all-armor guard list wouldn't be too bad, because eventually you would have to do actions, and battle line gets sticky, so I think I would win. It'd be annoying, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. What's your top table on UKTC streams? Incredibly interesting, so damn sweaty and raw. That's actually not my experience, because I actually went back and watched the UKTC one for the LGT. It was actually the opposite.
What's your opinion on a full Ultramarine Dreadnought list? And customer 2 of my mates are headed down south and are hoping to see it.
What's your opinion on a full Ultramarine Dreadnought list? Someone did a full Dreadnought list. Chewy did it at one of the Winchester events, and it seemed really fun. Two of your mates are going down to south. Hope to see you there. Well, hope to see them there too. Go over and say hi. Like the one at LGT where it was it Liam vs Alpha or someone, and they were both just like, one of them was just like, oh, by the way, like I think I know what you mean. The very, very, very top tables, this it doesn't apply to. So the very, very top tables, especially if you've got someone like Scary. I will say, when you have someone like Scary doing commentary, it's a lot better because he's very knowledgeable. He's good. He's a very good commentator. because they're just long games, it's not going to really fit into something that you would do on like a Twitch like creator clash thing. Yeah, like the League of SL was like, oh, by the way, like we discussed it, your Scourges, I can see your Scourges, just shift them. Like if they were rules lawyering properly, he'd be like, oh, nah, I can see your Scourges, I win. The way that it works at the very top tables and the way I kind of try and play the games is it's very, very conversational. Like if you want to learn, if you want to do well at a tournament, not well in terms of like good results, you want to get a lot out of tournaments.
Kit bash a knight to look like a centurion.
That'd be cool. That's just a Saturnine centurion. That's just a Saturnine dreadnought. But thank you for Superchat. If you want to do well at tournament in terms of like actually getting stuff out of it, have the game be a conversation. That's such a much better. That's such a good way of playing the game because it keeps you and your opponent informed, and they can ask you questions, you can clarify, and then neither of you confused about what's going on, even if you don't know the rules that your opponent is doing. And if they say to me, hey, how does this work? They can try and explain it to you, right? My most memorable games against people who I have like a lot of like back and forth with, playing against someone like JP is great. I've played against him twice at events, and it's such a fun time playing against him. Playing against Joe from the Liam Dempsey show was also very, very fun because we just had a fun rapport. I'm still trying to play the game. All of my games are good, but the games that are less memorable to me are the ones where my opponent is less kind of chatty and less. And again, sometimes it's just because they're shy, right? If someone is shy, then it's fine. But like building a rapport and having to kind of a back and forth about the game kind of helps a lot in playing the game and making the game run smooth. Have you ever been to the Birmingham GT? I've not been to the Birmingham GT. 18 Warlord Titans when? Never, because that sounds horrific. Can you have a list with just characters that's legal in games? I think you can, actually. I met someone who plays in ports. What are they called? Oh, it's going to annoy me, because I've met him a couple of times now, and I feel bad. But they do tournaments out of Portsmouth. Reese, if you're there, save me. They're really cool guys. And one of them I met at LGT, I think he was playing Imperial Agents. I think 800 points of his list was characters. It was very silly. Oh, what are they called? Legitimately, my brain is falling apart, and I need to remember. Hobby Henchman. That's it. Hobby Henchman. Hobby Henchman guys. It's all super cool guys. I've been introduced to them a couple of times and I cannot remember their names, so I do apologize. If I run into you again, one thing you'll learn from me is I'm terrible with names. So if you tell me your name if I meet you, I've likely immediately forgotten it, so I do apologize. If Sensor Legend moved mutilators, yeah, I guess moved to mutilators. How scared are you that we put Legends? I'm not that scared at all, honestly. I honestly don't think they are going to be going to Legends. I just don't see why they would. I don't see they don't. The reason things go to Legends generally is because they are kind of usurped by something, or they are just like, you know, there's something that replaces. There's no replacement for a Centurion unless they're going to make new Centurions, in which case that's different. I'm awful with it. Like, even, oh man, when I met Legion W, he was such a nice guy, and I immediately forgot his name. I introduced himself, and I was like, hell yeah. I think it was Julius. I feel bad now. And I'm sorry, because it was so much fun hanging out with you. What do I think of the 11th edition stuff so far? I think it's called nothing. I think it is cool. Oh, my brain is falling over. I think it's cool, and I'd like to see more of it come out. I feel like the big things that I think are going to really affect how cool the game is are the primary missions, the way they pair, and that leading into terrain. That, I think, is going to be really interesting to see how that works out. Because then you're not just playing for your list and like what you want to put in your list, you're also then playing for the different possible primaries other people can do, which is really cool. What will you do when Centurions go in 11th? Move on. After burning down Warhammer World. But move on after that. You know, you got to let your frustrations out in some way. I think it's a very healthy way to let your frustrations out by burning down an entire industry. But that's just me. New Ceramite Sentinels. Which one was the Ceramite? That's the new one that I haven't... That's the other thing, is that there's a lot of like new detachments I've just not looked up at. So yeah, there was like a new one, wasn't there? Another faction pack. Oh, it's going to take forever to load. I'll wait for that. What if you were painting Centurions right now? If I was painting Centurions right now, I would cry. Because I painted them so much. It's going to do a game that's full of whatever the opposite of Centurions is. That's just playing my Drukhari army, basically. And yes, I do want to play my Drukhari. I do think that would be cool. I do think that would be a fun thing for 11th. Will be trying different armies, but also being able to like play into their playstyles better. Also, objectives being buildings and how they might impact more vehicle-focused army. I think the being buildings is fine. I think the thing is, with the kind of vehicle-focused armies, you were always going to struggle with objectives anyway. And the only Outlander Claw I've played against had so many small squads anyway, so it wasn't really much of a problem. You going to phase out Firstborn Marines? No, but that's the thing, right? Obviously, like, the phasing out Firstborn Marines was something that people say a lot, which is why Centurions get caught up in it, but I don't see them doing that. Maybe stuff like Devastator Marines. But even then... Like, for example, right, like, Vanguard Veterans coming out means the old Vanguard Veterans is going to go into Legend, but that's not the same thing, right? Just going to get people to buy GW terrain? Well, I don't think so, right? Because I think... I mean, judging by a lot of the people who have already basically made 11th edition layouts on Reddit, like, you don't need to buy the terrain. It'd be smart if they put the terrain that you needed in the 11th edition release box. But also, any terrain you have, as long as you have the base plates, which they said they're going to release for free. Like, you just print those shapes off, and then you can put whatever the hell you want on there. All Walker Vehicle Sister List. That sounds cool. So is that, I guess... 9 Nundums, and then 6, is it 6 of each of the other ones you could do? 6 Intentions and 6 Mortifiers? They're called Mortifiers? No, they're called Mortifiers, aren't they? I don't think they are. I think I'm saying the wrong name. No, it is Mortifiers. I was right. I'm always right. I'm never bad at anything. I'm the best. Main character energy list, all epic heroes. Oh, that's very funny. I guess, yeah, Ultramarines is the right play for that, right? I guess Dark Angels also has a lot of them. Nine Num-Nums, 5 Pen Engines, 5 Mortifiers, 1 Night Castle, and a Val. That sounds awesome. It's worth getting the 11th edition starter set box if I don't collect Orcs nor Space Marines. So here's a way to think about it. It's going to be cheap. But it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be cheaper than obviously buying all this thing together, right? So what you could do is buy it and then sell off the Orc and Space Marine parts. And it's probably going to be net positive rather than just buying the books. It depends what else is in there, right? If there's terrain in there, obviously it becomes more of a thing, but... I'm worried about becoming Gary. Are you the other Gary, by any chance? It depends. I might avoid the Garying. I think we might be alright. It depends if the 2 Gary lists that are there so far. I guess that's the thing. If you lose to a Gary, you become a Gary, so it spreads. I guess it basically depends if anyone that becomes a Gary can take 36 centurions. I think they should keep firstborn Space Marines as multi-purpose soldiers like Tactical Squad. I think, honestly, I feel like they would update the... I feel like they might update like intercessors or something to... Or they might have like intercessors and then have like tactical, but just update the models. So I like the idea of a tactical squad being like a 10-man unit that you can kind of customize however you want. And then your Primaris units are all like the specialized ones. Biggest hope for 11th edition? I don't know, actually. To be real with you, not make it unfun to play. And as much as people might say, like, how, you know, the rules are bad or whatever, I enjoy playing 40k, right? If 11th just comes out and 40k is no longer fun to play, that's going to be a big problem. I don't see it going that way because, again, a lot of what makes 40k fun, especially at events, is the people you play it with. Flash Sentinel, thank you for subscribing to the Prime. Well, my ad break broke into teeny tiny pieces, God help me. That's unfortunate. Especially because of ad break's horrible. So all small pieces. Just because it's different doesn't mean you can't have fun with it. That's not what... I guess that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is kind of like... It's not the... It doesn't seem like it's going to be too different from 10th. My hope is that they don't go, oh, by the way, there's this weird rule, which is just like, again, this is to the extreme. But if you roll a 1, you have to punch yourself in the dick. Like, if they make that, I'm like, I'm not going to really play 40k if I have to punch myself in the dick every time I roll a 1. I don't know what kind of rule that would be, but... You should have a pull-off with Paulie on Saturday. I will be having the pull-off, and likely I will lose. There's a hype train coming in on Twitch. Hell yeah! I've forgotten how good the dopamine is from streaming and getting people giving you things. Thank you for the support. Because yeah, it's fortunately the channel has been like very much like the baseline of when I don't release a video. It hasn't like dipped anywhere else. Subscriber wise, it hasn't gone up that much. But again, it's because I haven't done anything. Flash Sentinel, thank you for gifting a sub. Thank you very much. There it is. So it's just kind of maintained. I basically in the next 2 months I need to gain just under 7,000 subscribers to hit 10,000. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe right now because I need to hit 10,000. I need to hit 100,000 subscribers by the time 11th comes out, otherwise I've failed. If they start to phase out reroll abilities, feels like a lot of units get to reroll either hits or wounds, taking out the fun part of the dice game. I think the reason for that is I think the -1 to hit is going to help a lot. But I think the problem at the moment is less... I mean, obviously rerolling to hit is going to take out the dice, but the problem is if the dice are too skewed. Soymage, thank you for becoming a subscriber over on Twitch. I meant subscribe on YouTube. I say about subscribing, I meant subscribe on YouTube, which is free. You should do that as well. What was I saying? Yeah, rerolls obviously kind of take the variance out, but it's that variance that makes the game... It's interesting, right? Because I think without any rerolls whatsoever, the skewed dice really affect the game, but obviously if that goes both ways, it's good. I think that's the problem. If one side has a bunch of rerolls and one side doesn't, then the side with rerolls wins. I think rerolling 1s is fine. Even then, like, my Centurions, they can, like, hit on 2s rerolling 1s, wound on 2s rerolling 1s, right? It's very silly. What is time your opponent when rolling doubles? Exactly, right? Goes like your stream, you better appreciate my interactions. Thank you. Thank you very much, yes. I need to make the video quick for South Coast Super Major because I'm burning money. Is there anything you want to see from 11th? I think what they've shown is pretty good. I'm glad they've changed plunging fire to be 3 inches. More verticality is always fun. Should bring back the wacky chance rules, but name it really hard to ever happen. Like Magnus with 1 round left, rolls all 6s. A certain unit radius also dies. Yeah, I mean, those kind of things are fun. And they had I mean, there's a couple of them in there. Like, there's, I can't think off the top of my head anymore. We don't need something like, what's his name? Deathman in Age of Sigmar, where you basically have a 50-50 chance of just dying. The gash, that's the one. The best rule they ever wrote was the Skaven rule in 1st edition Age of Sigmar, which was if you rolled 13 on 2d6, you win. Want to see the South Coast? Yeah, look, hope to see you there as well. So yeah, actually, weirdly, I met you last year, didn't I? It'll be interesting to see how many more people are gonna come up to me this time, because I had there was how many subscribers did I have this time last year? That's gonna be interesting to. That'll take me a little bit of time. Actually, it shouldn't take me too long. I can just go here and then. So, April 2025. I basically half the amount of subscribers I have now. I had 45,000. And I got recognized a little bit. I feel like I'm going to go a lot more this time. We're going to tournament Sunday. I'm going to the South Coast Super Major this weekend. I know that, yeah, I feel bad for Mark at the Winchester place because he got fucked over because he moved his weekend, then they moved South Coast. Well, he moved his Sunday event, and they moved South Coast. He was like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to run it anyway. It's like, fair play. So if you aren't going to South Coast, there is I imagine, I think it's you can't buy tickets anymore, but there is a event going on at Winchester as well. We'll start Chaos Army with Mutilators and Obliterators. We'll see. I mean, I like Mutilators, but you join the dark side with World Eaters, you fool! You were so close. You're the chosen one, probably. Taking half your army the day before tournament sucks. Yeah, I mean, I've still got 6 centurions to do. Fortunately, they're not too bad. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to do them in Sonic colors, but only their shoes. Because it's simple and funny. I haven't done anything with the feet yet. Well, I do like their backpacks as well, just for a bit of extra color. But again, the problem with my army is doing a squad where all of them are different takes far longer than just doing them all the same. And that's on me. That's my problem. Bring 88 cultists, so with Anger on the Lord of Skulls, but went with my beloved Gore track. You should have done the triple skull. The Trip Lord. Half the new 70s detachment is going to be space. That'd be very funny. With the new terrain, I wonder how that one mission would work with a go at the end. I imagine that one won't be in there anymore. Because the primary missions are going to be different for each person as well. And you can't exactly have one... If one person's primary mission is, by the way, the objectives disappear, and the other person doesn't have that, it doesn't work. So I imagine that's not going to be a thing. How do you recommend beating army prices? Love building lists, but don't have money for multiple armies, but never get armies for money for army. I'll never play. Yeah, it's hard. Just go with it. What one model do you think is the coolest model? What is the one model you look at and go, this is the best model, I love this model, this model's awesome. Whatever model that army is for, choose that. What do I think about custom robots? I love custom robots. I think they're cool. They're goofy. I'd love it if they were good. Like in 11th. A bit different, but with running 18 Assault Centurions, do you have any advice for 30 Assault Terminators? Both are slow melee units. Assault Terminators are slightly different because obviously they can deep strike innately. Having a vehicle for them to go forward is always going to be useful. But I think the thing with assault terminators, especially the hammer ones, is they're just a tar pit. That's 40 wounds at 2 up, 4 up. Just plonk 10 of them. Like, I've been toying with getting 10 of them into a Screaming Ravens list with Shadowmark talent, just going, okay, they infiltrate. Cool. Here's with an ancient, like 10 4 wound, 2 up, 4 ups, each with 2 OC. Sitting on an objective. You aren't shifting me. And then they probably will get shifted. Or you go with like loads of land raiders. The other option. But racing straps something they can't go wrong. Racing straps need redemptive, they haven't failed to charge. It's true. Very curious to vote with how asymmetric primary missions will work with the army rule. I guess it's fine. Because your army rule is based on holding objectives, right? Not scoring primary. There's a distinction there. How do you... Yeah. You get a yield point if you control 1 or more objective. Control 2 or more. Control more. So there's 1, 2, and more to get the point. So that's going to be the same regardless, right? War track is just that for world users. The metal is a trip for Land Raider. That is fun. What to make the unit limit of 3k point games for? Would you do 48 centurions? I feel like if you're doing 3k point games, at that point the limit goes out the window. But I don't own 48 centurions. Don't mention World Eater cultists because of what I'm bringing. Hell yeah. That was the woman. The woman is good. The woman is very good. We're both tired from Japan. Thanks, definitely put them in Shadowmark. Yeah, so with Shadowmark, you can do 10 of them with the like Deep Strike turn 1, 10 of them infiltrate, and just put 10 of them in the sky. Are you doing hammers on all of them? Because you should do, just because it's funny, you should do lightning claws. That's a lot of attacks. And in many of your tournaments, you beat them. And in many of your tournaments, you beat them. What are the playstyles for Necrons that you find challenging? I build buffs of Warrior Blob and Reanimation. Have you versed that playstyle? I haven't played that playstyle. Also, I don't think I've beaten Necrons in any of my... Oh, no. No, I don't think I've ever beaten Necrons in any of my tournament videos. I lose every time. Mostly because of Reanimation protocols. The challenging thing with Necrons is you have to kill them outright, and I don't do that very well. Yep.
You don't own 48 centurions yet.
True. I would have I would have owned more, but they had none in Japan. Very bad. The main thing with Necrons I find is that like chewing through Catan or chewing through a Silent King with all the Field Pains is so annoying. 4 up 5 up is just exhausting. Then you have that on like Wraiths as well. With your warrior brick, I'd probably be better at it because the missile blast is really good against it. And even if I knock down like 18 of them with reanimation protocols, you're not getting back at the 20 that quick. But I don't know. I feel like in a lot of lists where I see the 20-man Necron blob, that's never the problem. I thought with your massive damage you would do well at limiting full Necron unit. The problem is it's just 4 up in ones. It's 4 up in ones and 5 up feel no pains. I think because mostly when I play against Necrons, I'm playing against lots of lots of Wraiths, Silent King, and Tarns. It's just so much, and then yeah, Doomsday arcs just delete me. All hammers, yeah, because I'm shifting from Salamander's army. That makes sense. But hammers is the correct way to play Assault Centurions, or Assault Terminators. But Lightning Claws are funnier. A lot of Knights players because they need attachment. World Eaters is always popular, I found. I think at the London GT, World Eaters was very up there. I think at the Teams event, World East was quite popular. What are your thoughts on Oops All Tournament lists? I think they're fun. Anything which is Oops All something, very cool. What would you recommend to get my friends started playing? Honestly, Space Marines. They're simple, they're recognizable. Like, if they've ever seen any other 40k media, they know what Space Marines are. They're versatile, they're simple, easy to get hold of. You can do basically anything with them. There's a reason that most people, when they start playing, play Ultramarine specifically. Because they're on the box and they go, those are cool. When I was a kid, I played Ultramarines when I was a kid. I was like, cool, I want to play the blue guys that are on the box. That's kind of the thing, is they're simple to get into because you can find something you like in a Space Marine. You don't have to get every single unit. To just start, again, this is to start playing the game. You look at Space Marines and goes, look at all these options. I think this stuff is cool, and then you could easily build around it. And there's so many, like, starter boxes that contain them, magazines that contain them, like weird promo boxes containing. You can find Space Marines anywhere. There are probably tons for sale, secondhand. They're so ubiquitous that just getting started playing the game, it's so easy to just get into Space Marines. That being said, you could also just point your friend at the Warhammer website and just go look through all of the catalogue and pick what your favourite unit is and start there. That's the other option. Cyber Codex Space Marines, would you consider trying divergent codexes in the future? Probably not. I like the idea of Blood Angels. Based on the one game I played of Frage Cursed Onslaught, which was so stupid. But I kind of like Raven Guard. I'm a kind of a Raven Guard. Well, I guess my style of Raven Guard player now. I have to draw a line somewhere. Yes, if your first game of Warhammer uses 3 leggy boys, hell yeah. Loud stealth, exactly. Stealth, again. Kind of overarching theme of Scream Ravens. Stealth is just being quieter than your surroundings. So just make the surroundings super loud and then you're fine. Just you can build a guard tank army, then add some friendly Space Marine bands. Counterpoint. Go back in time when I think Iron Warriors could use guard tanks and just play Iron Warriors. Or I guess you could go, I guess guard tanks are a good way to start, because you can just go, oh, I want to play Genestealer cults now. I feel like starting with guard tanks, adding some Genestealer cults, and then moving into Tyranids is a perfect, like, spread. Aircrafting buffing 11th, I want to nuke my opponent with Tau Bomber. Aircraft are interesting. I feel like Void Raven bombers were good, but that's just because Scari's a maniac. Dawn Ravens were actually good. But that's just because they could transport stuff and do a lot of, like, they just had a lot of firepower. But no other flyers were good. I only have 1 DDA, not because I'm not nice, it's because I don't want to paint a third of Ribcage. That is fair. But the thing with Doomsday Arcs is you have to have 2. Because one will always tell the truth and one will always tell lies. And a third one, if you have it, will shoot you for asking difficult questions. Every time I've played against Doomsday Arcs, they've had 2. One of them has done all the damage, the other one does fuck all. I think you can redo aircraft with the way 4K can resist. I think the rules are cool. But they're just a bit whack. These things, Stream Ravens drop steel pipes all over the battlefield as they advance. Basically. The other one is a ghost. To be fair, I could not tell you the difference between a Ghost Arc and a Doomsday Arc, so you could just use them for both Doomsday Arcs. But let me have a look. Doomsday Arc. And Ghost Arc. But what is the difference? Oh, one's just... oh, it's actually literally just the same thing, but flipped. I honestly could not tell you the difference. I guess one of them has loads of dudes in the middle. Okay, I guess they're quite different. Have you considered just like taking the back, like where the guy sits in of your Ghost Ark, and then just rotating him and then flipping the whole thing upside down? Listen, I bait people every time I bring up wave serpents by showing a picture of a falcon. Is it a falcon? Whatever way around it is, it's very funny. Even in the last video that I did this, I literally had myself coming on screen with a fish hook, like with a fishing rod, and people still called me out on it, which is very funny. You remember Thunderhawk? Oh no, Thunderhawks look horrific. I mean, not in like... They look cool as hell, but I would never want to build and paint one. They just look like an absolute nightmare. My endemic theme is robot and leggy boys. That is a good theme. Opinions on custodians in general? I think custodians are fine. The new custodians that they brought out of Horror Series look cool as hell. But they're just okay, I think. Welcome back, thank you very much. And it's scary, and I'm afraid I'll break something and magnetize the arc. To be fair, yeah, I don't use magnets that often. I started off when I wanted to make my Chronoses, because I wanted to be able to turn them into Taloses. I started the magnetization process, but it was a pain. I will say, magnetizing Scarab Occult Terminators is easy as hell. And magnetizing... In fact, you don't even need to magnetize like a Redemptor. Like, legitimately, if you just cut the... if you just cut the, like the, little nubbins off where you would normally put the... It's like where the hinges for guns. It actually just works with friction, which is really good. The Mechanicus boys will be kind of marine-ish entry that make more elite Mechanicus armor possible? Potentially. Again, I guess there's going to be a lot of changes based on... Evans, right? Born too late if Void came for aircraft. Be the change you want to see in the world. One of my friends called me weird because I enjoyed trimming CSM. To be fair, that is weird. It's not actually. Like, if you like painting like the detail of trim, to be fair, actually, if you enjoy painting trim, then CSM is the right place to be. If you're like, oh, I enjoy painting the trim on like guard, you'd be like, that's weird. There is no trim. If you said you enjoyed painting a Helldrake trim, then that's different. Isn't that one creator who's painted 25 Helldrakes? I've not, and I don't wish to interact with them. They may have problems. I'm also going to the summer ITT. Maybe. I should be. No Paul Sodium late? Well, I mean, that's unacceptable. Just because I've been away for 3 weeks doesn't mean that you shouldn't be here. You should be clicking on my channel every Thursday at 7 PM, even if I don't stream. This is unacceptable. I haven't bought a Helldrake yet, but I'm going to buy a Maw the Fiend. Hell yeah. He's going to get Partnership Hobby Area video going. Yeah, I meant to unlock that channel when I went away for people to start filling up, but I didn't, because when I tried to do the final few from the previous time, my entire internet crashed. So I need to catch up on that. There's a lot of stuff I need to do to get back into the swing. That's going to be on the list. But I will eventually reopen that and start doing those. There's a lot of things. Like, bear in mind, I've been in this country for 4 days and I've been ill for most of it. Getting back into the swing of things is weird. Like you're back into it. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, not like it's the worst thing in the world. Obviously, like everyone else had to go back to a real job. What does Japan think about Centurions? Well, they didn't have any. They're not good things. Speaking of Legion W was really interesting because he was talking about how the popularity of Warhammer in Japan. Very interesting. I will probably have him on a stream at some point to chat about it because it is really quite interesting. I don't want to like take all of his talking points. He's probably also talked about it on his channel before. It is very interesting. Model from a different faction you want to paint or have any interest in painting soon? I feel at the moment, this might be controversial, at the moment I don't have much interest in painting. I think the problem is any painting I've done, I'd say even in like the past 6 months, has been to a deadline for a tournament. And that's not the way to make painting enjoyable. Were there any Warhammer stores there? I mean, if you watched my April Fool's video, you'd know there was at least one. I went to 3. Went to the one in Kyoto. Oh man, the Kyoto one was so awkward. I feel so bad for the guy. Because literally, I walked in there. Obviously, I'm like on my... No, I'm not talking about... I'm talking about the Kyoto Warhammer store. I'll talk about Don Quixote in a moment. Obviously, I walk in there. I'm trying to like record this on my phone, but subtly so he doesn't know. And I walk in there. He says something. I say "Arigato gozaimasu" instead of "Konnichiwa." So already I fucked it. I point the camera at the fact there's no Centurions, and I go, "They're not here." And I just very quickly go "Arigato gozaimasu," and they just leave really quickly before he can say anything. And I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so awkward." I feel so bad because he was the only guy in there was the guy working there. Fortunately, the ones in Yokosuka with run by Nyx, that one was full of people. That one was insanely busy, which is great. Although Nyx was saying that they were telling me it was very funny when they first opened the shop. They obviously the Warhammer Games Workshop delivered a bunch of the Japanese versions of things. Raziel, thank you for the 15 months.
"15 months? That's almost some amount of time."
That is an amount of time, thank you. When I shrink there, it's probably because of my terrible setup. Yeah, the one in Yokosuka. So Nyx was saying that they received a bunch of the stuff, and they get like, oh, weirdly, like all your English like language stuff is selling really well, but the Japanese stuff, like Japanese language stuff, isn't selling very well. And Nyx has to be like, you see this giant American naval base that is right here? Yes, this is a very like expat heavy area. And they went, okay, we'll send you more English language stuff. And then they also went over to the Tokyo Warhammer Cafe, which is also very good. And I told this story at the start of the stream, but for those who didn't hear it, I spoke to a guy came up and was like, "Oh, do you play Warhammer?" Like one of the people working there. So, "Do you play Warhammer?" I was like, "Yeah, I play Warhammer." He's like, "Oh, what do you play?" I play Raven Guard with a load of Centurions. He goes, "Oh, there's a guy on like YouTube who does that." I go, "Yeah, that's me." And he has this like surprised Pikachu face. It's very funny. I thought to look at and do a quick bow and move on. That probably would have worked out better because every time I open my mouth, I said something wrong. Trying to fire me up. Over the trip there for late May? Hell yeah. Japan was great. Guy walks in the shop, thank you so much. Guy leaves the shop, thank you so much. This man is a thief. True. Next tournament when? Next tournament this weekend. And the video sometime after that. We don't get to fight all armies in tournaments, would you go your way to fight the last one? I don't think so. I think if I manage to get through the entirety of 10th and never play Tau, it would be very funny. What 10th ends any competitive performance you enjoyed the most? GW or WCC, UKTC? So I only really played UKTC, and I guess I played the Winchester, which is a slight variant of UKTC. But I played the teams events. I really enjoyed the teams events. That was a lot of fun. But I haven't played GW. I mean, I'm going to play GW just before it finishes. We'll see how it is. Good to see you back. Thank you very much. It's a deadline blows every time I get a new box. I just co-sign myself to no events.
Here comes trouble.
Moldhound. What a name. What an absolute name. Thank you for the massive raid. 94 viewers. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. If you don't know who I am. Good. You can see it, don't you? The gleam, the reflection of inevitability. Hair could be cut, burned, or torn away from my power. But my power was never fragile enough to hide behind vanity. I shed weakness long ago, strand by strand, until only this polished truth remains bare witness to the horizon where light itself deals. The many essential eternal radiant shining crown of emptiness. What a name. What a raid message. Welcome in, Rallies. Hope you had a good stream.
That sounds like a challenge. Can I build one cave town and fight Paul before 10 ends?
Hopefully something fun. And Elect Man, hello. That's where you've been. You don't know I'm poor as bad at stuff. I make stupid videos. I've just got back from Japan. I'm ill and I have 6 more centurions to pay before Saturday. I make stupid videos on YouTube about Warhammer. And how I'm bad at it. You brought friends. Nice. Welcome in, welcome in. Elect Man bringing the troops. Are you doing 36 cents this weekend? I am, yes. Gaming Zone Studio is very fun. It was a fun event, a fun video. What's 3 super important things do you bring in a long tournament? Knee braces has been on top of my list, which I definitely need because my legs are absolutely destroyed from Japan. Edgy Lord Twitch, what a name. How do you feel about removal of circular objective markers with newest edition? The fact that it's made my business bad. Like, no one buys my t-shirts because they're stupid. But everyone buys the objective markers. I'm gonna have to rebrand them. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 3 important things to bring to a long tournament: knee braces. My knees are a lot better after wearing knee braces for the entire thing. What else? Water. And your army. Sending any LVOs? Probably not for the foreseeable future. It's just a long way to travel. And also going to America right now, iffy. Not my idea of fun. Elect Man member for 19 months. Jeez, have I had that? I didn't realize I had membership for that long. How did I go from balding magic guy to my bald Warhammer guy? Listen, it happens, alright? Like, you go from one bald guy to another bald guy. That's just how it works.
Howdy, Paul.
We're actually all connected.
I hope your
like,
vacation went well.
It did go well. Thank you very much, Elect Man. Yeah, our brains just kind of connect because without hair, you actually become psychic. But you can't just shave your head. You have to be going bald first. Like I stream followed YouTube for a while, just started painting my first army last week. Hell yeah. What army are you painting? Hey, Super Duper for emergency repairs? Good idea, I never do that. Either pull beans your face stretch and swash into triangles would be awesome. I do want to do that, that would be very funny. Salamanders? Hell yeah. Sounds cool. It's also, the most important thing to bring to the tournament is your little evil hunchback servant, so you may spit on him in anger and use him as a stool. True? Oh no, wait, the opposite thing. Not true. Very not. I mean, to be fair, you could. That's just stopping you, I guess. So the coasters, yeah. Coasters, placemats, bad frisbees, masks. There's a lot of things you can do with them. You're gonna pull your hair having a 10 losing streak? That's the trick. I have a 10 losing streak, but I already pulled my hair out. Easy. Go read Super. Oh yeah, you super chatted as a bunch of people turned up. Sounds like a challenge. Can I build 1k of town and fight Paul before 10th edition ends? Building 1k of town is probably not the hard part. Finding me is going to be the difficult part. Was a really nice guy to play against. There you see. I need a Paul mug that is big enough to use the GT. I kind of... the problem is, if I do a mug, the only thing I'd want to do is be like a dog mug, but that's already kind of done as a joke, so... I don't know. I'll have to think of something else in that kind of vein. All the Warhammer players also part of our bold subreddit. That's the best part about going on the bald bearded guy. It's like, go find the bald bearded guy at the event, because that's literally half the people there. Paul, why are we here not finishing Centurions SMH? Well, Astra, I mean, don't you have a thing in half an hour? Why are you here yapping at me? I ain't got something to sort out. Also, it's because I've been painting all day and I'm going to go insane. You make miniature bases, just have your face on. That would be funny. What unit should I buy for a 1,000-point Necron army? Probably asking the wrong person if you want like a good army. I'd just say more destroyers. Use melters or flamers on my Salamander Assault Centurion. Depends what you want out of them. Age of Dragons in 14 months, thank you very much. Like, you want the punching vehicles and board clearing and flamer potential from the shooting, or do you want to double down with the melters? Like, melters and salamanders is very good. 14 months. Saw Yapper lie appear. It's the master yapper. Oh, good god. I think it's flamers and melters are both very good in salamanders. But flamers is definitely on, like, the... I don't know. Oh, hey, how's it going? Well, 3-4 flamers already, so I wouldn't mind some more melters. Then shove melters in there. What were we yapping about? Kind of a bunch of stuff. I've been yapping for like almost 2 hours. Oh dear. Just kind of like vibing. As you do. I do want to do, I think maybe I'll do it either next week or the week after. Since when I went, I think it was just before I went away and also while I was away, there's been a bunch of, because I think Morty and Glory did a reaction to one of my videos, to my tournament video, and Mirabelle has done a couple of reactions to my videos. So I want to do reactions to those videos. Basically, I want to do that kind of stream, but I only ever want to react to stuff that's reacting to my stuff, because then I'm not taking anyone else's content, I'm only taking my own content via someone else's content. So I might do that then. Before to get into 11th edition? I think 11th edition would be a good time to get into it. Seems like the right kind of time. What do I think of Commander Farsight? Very cool model. There's a perfect distraction to help procrastinate on Centurions. What paint scheme are you considering for your Drukhari? My Drukhari are purple. Like dark purple armor. Just because I like purple, that was the main thought with that one. Have I seen the 11th reels? I've seen what I've seen. I've kind of seen everything they've released. Yeah. Beginning edition is usually the best time to get into it. Usually, it's weird, right? Because like obviously, if you're getting into the game for the first time, the beginning edition is good because you get the good box, but then you're not going to actually get into playing it until you built it all, which takes a little while. It's not like a board game where you can just kind of open the box, like a card game where you just get the cards. You actually have to put some effort into it first. Things like I hate about 11th edition's unit limit getting tighter. Is unit limit getting tighter? Why did it say that? I thought it was still 3s. Or maybe I missed it. Oh boy. Well. My voice is about to get weird. Because I am getting a nosebleed. Just out of nowhere. Great news. So I apologise for how my voice is going to sound. I should probably go sort this out. And to be honest, that's probably a good time to kind of end the stream anyway, so I do apologize for the sudden stop. Instead of listening to me like sound like a maniac, you should all go and on the old YouTube, go over and watch Liam Dempsey. And over on Twitch, I think I saw Millwall was about to start. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought I saw something. Am I wrong? No, maybe not. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just missaw it. But you should go do something else. I'm gonna go and sort out my nose. Sorry about that. But I'll see you next time. Have a good rest of your day, and go watch Liam Dempsey. Goodbye.